straight games and looking wonderful this week. We've got women's singles coming up next. Pornpawee Chochuwong from Thailand taking on some left-handed Spaniard that a few people have heard of, Carolina Marin, in a few moments. Well, Marin had the tougher battle yesterday in round one, but more about that in a moment. Michelle Lee and Chen Yufei battle out on court 4 later for a spot in the quarters to face the winner of this one.
Women's singles, Pornpawee Chochuwong, Thailand.
Well, here is Pornpawee Chochuwong
Versus Carolina Marin,
who took her first
Spain.
World Tour title back in 2020 at the Spain Masters.
Umpire, Jittenbach, Australia.
And guess who
Service
she
judge,
beat in the final?
Pornpawee, Malaysia. Court 1.
Carolina Marin. Well, how much introduction can I give her? Former Olympic champion, 3 times world champion, 6 times European champion, 5 of those in consecutive events. Possibly the only European to achieve that. I've got somebody I can ask about that in a few moments. 8-1
So
the head-to-head.
Black or red?
Unsurprisingly, perhaps.
It is red.
But their last meeting, it was 21-19 in the third. Going back a couple of years to the Swiss Open, the semi-final. And let's see what sort of form they're in here today in a few moments. So Pornpawee Chochuwong, 24 years of age, born in Rayong, Thailand. Around 5'7" in height. She was up at number 8 in the world rankings just a few months back in October. Now sitting at 12 in the world. A consistent year of results for her, typically through to the latter stages of events. But no tournament wins. Yesterday's victory over Yeo Jiamin was in straight games, 39 minutes that took. And Carolina Marin still under 30, which is great for us to see. 29 years of age, 5'8" or thereabouts in height. Born in Huelva, who hosted the World Champs back in 21, which sadly Marin was unable to compete at due to injury. And those injuries have caused her to have a lack of tournament over the last year or two. Her ranking is 9 in the world at the moment. But in total, she spent well over a year in total weeks as world number 1. And just under an hour yesterday it took for her to come through against Pasala Vinkata Sindhu in round 1. And let me first introduce our umpire for this one, Jitan Bat, back on court from Australia, this time as umpire, and Lim Ho Huang, our service judge. And 2 things I hadn't realised when I was looking through the career history of our superstar of the sport here last night. She was a very keen flamenco dancer, for one, before she picked up a racket. So I'm just trying to imagine what our women's singles sport would look like without a Carolina Marin had she stuck with flamenco dancing. And secondly, that I've never introduced her by her full name, which is in fact Carolina Maria Marin Martin. sounds like a limerick. It sounds like the great Sneader Limerick. And to help me call this one, he's always keen. He's badminton's dream, with the knowledge you get through your TV screen. It's our friend Steen. Welcome, Steen.
Thanks, Bobby.
So a life without Carolina Marin in it in badminton. Just what has Marin brought to the sport, Steen?
Well, a loud celebration of her points is the first thing that comes to mind. No, but
on my left, Carolina Marin, Spain.
She's been a big part of breaking the Chinese wall in women's single. Together with Ratchanok, who won in 2013. Won the World Championships then, and Marin in 14 and 15. Showing, giving belief that China does not have sort of the only recipe on how to play women's singles. It can be done. Other countries, other nations, it can even be done in a small badminton country. That's perhaps the most significant, that Spain was a very small badminton country before Carolina Marin emerged on the scene.
Yes, and those 5 consecutive European titles, or 6 in total.
No, it's 6 consecutive, actually.
It's 6 consecutive.
Yeah.
Well, surely that's a record. I mean, I haven't verified that fact, but it's
it is
an incredible statistic.
Peter Gaylor got 5, but not in consecutive wins. He could have probably gone to 7. So there was a couple of editions where he wasn't playing because of injury, and I think he would have had a chance to win those. But that's exactly why it's so difficult, because you have to be free of injuries, and in Marin's case, it's just happened to fit in nicely with her 2 big injuries, and it's also now a yearly event. Previously it was every 2nd year, so that makes it pretty much impossible to compare, in my opinion.
Yes.
You can just say that it's an amazing dominance that Marin has had in Europe since 2014.
Yes, and when we talk about comebacks, especially after injury, she had such a long layoff. Was it around 18 months, I think, before coming back late last year, that French Open, and she got to the final. It was 22-20 in the 3rd game of that final as well. So, I mean, to come back in such great form.
And I think she came back at the European Championships and won it on home soil in Madrid. So that must have been in April or so. So I guess it's been 11 months.
Okay.
I think she tore her 2nd ACL in May. I might be mistaken. It could have been in March. And it was just, I've been in Spain recently then, and got a text from the coach of today for Marin. There's a team of coaches with Fernando Rivas, the long-time Spanish head coach, as the main coach, but Anders Thomsen, the Danish-born coach for Marin today, texted me that she unfortunately had ruptured her left ACL.
Yeah, it's a horrible injury for a badminton player.
3-4.
And one of the things was that on the first ACL, on her right knee, the meniscus was intact. That was not the case on the second, unfortunately.
Hence the long layoff.
Yeah, and she's been open about it. It's been a much tougher road back here, and she's been struggling with pain. It's taking a longer time. We've had to adjust practice a number of times for a long period of time. They've had to adjust the practices, couldn't do what they planned.
Well, physically she looks great this week. I didn't see the match, just heard about it against PV Sindhu yesterday in round 1. I don't think Sindhu particularly likes playing against Carolina Marin.
No, Marin holds the advantage in head-to-heads, and the thing is, it's two players that are both very physical. And yesterday was Sindhu's return from injury, so it was a match that was I would like to see later on in the tournament, but Marin has dropped down to 9th in the world ranking, and that means that you can draw one of the other seeds, and giving the arena here the drift and so on, it
5-all.
it was an up and down game. I think it's fair to say from the match yesterday that it doesn't look like Marin has at the moment that extra gear that we saw in Thailand back in 2021 when she won the first 2 tournaments there and finished runner-up at the World Tour finals. But maybe we can see that as the players get more accustomed to the playing conditions here. I already think this looks a bit better than yesterday in terms of pace and the ability to play the backcourt. There was a lot of drift yesterday.
Yes, we saw in the first 2 matches, the mixed doubles and then the men's singles, that actually players on the far side of the court were able to go into the rear corners a bit more today. And so perhaps the drift conditions slightly different. Interesting talking to one of the singles players in the hotel yesterday that not only is there drift that is different on every court, but she also felt that the drift changed during the match.
Yeah.
It must be a nightmare to play in.
It can happen, but it can also sometimes play on your mind. I won't rule out that drift can change during a match. I think that's definitely possible, but I've also seen players when, for instance, let's say it's Chochuwong here now, we expect to play up against the drift and can really hit it, put pressure on the shots to the backcourt of Marin. Let's say Marin plays a little bit too short and Chochuwong opts for a clear instead of an attacking shot. Then it's so easy to put that long and sort of start questioning yourself and, oh, has the drift changed and so on. So at least 2-3 mistakes. That's great net play there.
Wonderful.
At least 2-3 mistakes on the back line before you start changing your opinion about drift. That's my advice. The worst thing you can feel on the court is uncertainty.
Yes, those players playing with confidence, as we saw in the last match with Lo Kian Yu. He has spells where he's so confident that he almost looks unplayable.
Good pressure there.
8-6.
why I mean, it's a little bit of an advantage. I'm not sure which court Pornpawee played on. I don't think she played on this court, on the TV court yesterday. But Marin did, and that's an advantage in my opinion. That's why I think we should put the top guns on the TV court.
To give them a chance of practicing on it before the later stages.
And not necessarily give them a chance, but I mean,
Service over.
I think they've earned
7-8
to play. It's unimaginable, in my opinion, that Wimbledon would put Nadal or Djokovic on court 13 on the one of the outer courts.
Good save.
Pity for Chochuwong. He's got very, very nice technical skills.
8-all.
The way I see it right now, Marin has upped the pace compared to yesterday.
That one's gone wide.
9-8. What's wrong with it? We'll do it this time. We'll do it this time.
Well, Marin allowed to change the shuttle. The info we have has got Chochuwong down at around 5'7" in height. Sting. She looks taller than that to me. In fact, she looks taller than Marin.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, good athletic ability from Marin to be able to take a forehand in that corner.
Line distance by the court. 10-8.
Giving it a lot of height to compensate for the lack of accuracy that you simply don't want to push it when you play the far side. So give it more height and it makes it more difficult to get the right timing on your shot when it drops down vertically from the ceiling.
And would that be the reason, Steen, especially in women's singles, we see
10,
those really
8.
high serves? So although you're giving away the attack, you're not doing it with as much risk. Would that be fair?
No, I think it also has something to do with the amount of attacking you do.
11-8 interval.
That's cool. Right. No challenge from Chochuwong.
Yeah, that was close.
I also think in terms of services that we're moving towards bigger variation in services. Some players that sticks to it. Normally players with a really, really good defense.
11-8, the scoreline here in the first. Carolina Marin doesn't have everything going her way. Marin is doing enough.
Last one, 20 seconds. Thank you, players. Back on court.
Am I?
Okay, players back on court now. Carolina. (11-8). Play.
Yeah, there's some variation on the serve, Steen.
12-8.
Yeah, I mean, for Carolina Marin, who's an attacking player, there's no reason whatsoever to launch a very high service, except as a variation once in a while, perhaps. I don't think really she does it. I know our coach Fernando Rivas has done a PhD in terms of the first 3 shots importance in women's singles.
Pornpawee Chochuwong challenges for out.
The service is the first chance to attack the opponent.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Challenge here. By Chochuwong.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge
And in
remaining.
badminton terms, that's
13-8.
a mile out of the back.
Play.
Yeah, good backhand cross from Marin. Oh, what a net shot from Chochuwong.
Service over.
Low,
9-13.
below the tape. She took that. Great control. Well, she went too flat this time, Marin, and punished by Chochuwong.
And she's had a bit of a slip in form also, Chochuwong, in my opinion. She won the SEA Games, as she mentioned, but Southeast Asian Games. But in 2021, it seemed like she was about to take over from Ratchanok Intanon as the strongest player from Thailand, but she hasn't really been able to live up to that as of late.
No, last year she was pretty consistent.
14.
Quite a few quarter-final performances, but hasn't seemed to break through, Steen, as you say.
No, it's not so much that it's quarter-final performances, but there's some losses to players that I would expect her to be past. Doesn't necessarily mean you win
12,
against
14.
them all the time, but when there's numerous of those occasions, then normally shows that either you're struggling with injury, expectation, self-confidence, or you're working on some bigger part of
But
your
not
game.
every 2 points. If there's something wrong with the shuttle, that's okay. But if there's nothing wrong, no change. Okay? Thank you. 12, 14.
Carolina Marin not afraid to take on the umpire as well as her opponent. We've seen that many times.
shot. Reverse slice. We saw yesterday a couple of things that I feel that she's been working on in her recovery period, Marin. I think this is one of them, but we also saw the cross net from the backhand, from the front court backhand side. Some positive things from Sindhu as well yesterday, playing back at Marin at times at the net. I think you need to do that. Otherwise, we allow the former world champion and Olympic champion too much initiative.
Chochuwong being a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, there's one left there.
With those flat lifts.
16.
Unable to keep that last one in court.
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, really, really strong technical player, but she's not sort of like super attacking, going for the all-out attack and powerful. It's more like super technical. I love that shot, but she missed it. Chochuwong. A little flick of the racket.
Yeah, just wide on this occasion, but like you say, Steen.
Here it comes, that one. Marin was there, but it comes so quick and has a lot of steepness on it, so you can actually run immediately, because it's going to be a short pickoff or an attempt at a long pickoff, and then you have time to regroup and change your position.
Yeah, it was a shot like that earlier that made me think about the height of these two players, because I had Marin down as the taller of the two, and that shot can be a bit more effective if you're taller. Taking it slightly earlier, and it was that sort of shot that made me think, how tall is Chochuwong?
Line judge, please, line judge.
It might be that the stats are a bit outdated. She is still only 24, so perhaps
13, 17.
data was collected when she was still growing as a teenager.
So we think she's outgrown the stats. That's
yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, thank you.
It was, I can't remember who it was. Yeah, it was Feng Yanqi, the mixed doubles player from China in the European swing, where he was down as 195, and I thought he looked taller, but who knows.
Defense from Chochuwong.
14, 17.
This is a situation where both players needs to be careful. Marin seems to have a reasonably good lead here, but she can't sort of breathe easy. And on the other hand, Chochuwong, she really needs to get her game going. There's too many mistakes.
Yeah.
Service over. 18,
A couple of times in that corner with that flat lift. She's gone wide. Shot from Marin.
But it's worrying for Chochuwong that it's Marin who's controlling the rallies on the far side of the court. Even though I must say that it seems like the drift is less severe here in the early stages of second round play.
It's slightly less cool than it was yesterday. Perhaps they've turned the air conditioning down a little.
20, game point, 14.
Six game points for the former Olympic champion. There's that backhand net, Steen.
Game.
It's a brilliant first game from Marin.
First game won by Carolina Marin.
Wonderful shot to finish. Chochuwong left, stranded. Lovely slice from Marin, and she takes the opening game. The second half was pretty dominant from Carolina Marin. The scoreline, 21-14.
Seguramente ahora va a empezar a sacar alto, intentando quitar velocidad. Entonces, lo que tú has hecho ahí en los últimos dos saques altos que él ha hecho, está muy bien. En medio remate empezamos. ¿Vale? No te agobias en eso. Un medio remate y empezamos. Y desde ahí empezamos metiendo presión al fondo o repitiendo en red. ¿Vale? Cuando ella juega desde media pista adelante y que ella juega desde media pista adelante a la red, lo repite. ¿Vale?
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. There's back on court. Second game, love all, play.
So the change of ends in game 2. And Carolina Marin
Service over.
handling the conditions really well in the opener.
Yeah, but that also means that there's a good chance that Chochuwong can also control it better on the far side of the court. Perhaps getting a little bit of help in an attack. And, what a great clear there from Marin.
Yeah, wonderful.
1-all.
Nice and flat, that punch clear. And Chochuwong really didn't expect the shot into the rear court.
Well in.
2-1.
Yeah, and again, flat into the rear corner.
Clear.
Service over. 2-all.
Both players finding a good length, which provides more opportunities than we've typically seen so far this week. well out of the back.
Yeah, and that was one of those situations that I mentioned in the beginning where Marin was really almost at the mid-court area, and I think she misjudged where she was.
4-2.
Now twice that Chochuwong has been able to play the back line with good accuracy.
Yeah,
Those
really.
shots, they went long yesterday, no doubt about it.
I saw a couple earlier on today that looked to be going wide and seemed to stay in, so perhaps a little sideways drift
5-2.
still out there. Let's see if we can get more of a view on that as the rallies go on. Great accuracy again.
And that can totally disrupt the game plan for the second game for Marin. Like it
3-5.
most likely have done for Chochuwong in the first game. When your opponents are suddenly able to do things that you think they won't be able to do, then you have to reevaluate and quickly adjust.
Oh, it's just long.
Service over. 6-3.
Well, game two so far littered with winning shots and a few errors.
Yeah, it's definitely sideways drift. Finds the line again.
And again from Chochuwong, she's hunting those rear corners. And what does Marin need to do to change what's happening out here? She's getting...
Attack.
Yes, right. Simple as that. Start hitting down.
Service
Well, she heard
over.
you, Steen.
4-7.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, it's not, you can't attack all the time, but ooh, that was close. But when you're uncertain, you can't play the lines, so you have to attack and take control of the rallies, work hard. If she gets too far behind here, then this second game is gone. She can't allow that. She's at least got to try and do something about it. Chochuwong was going to have her say as well.
Yes, well, we know she's a fighter. She lets everyone know, in fact, on numerous occasions.
Those flat lifts were very good from Chochuwong, and that's not what Marin has expected going into this second game.
No.
Excellent play.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Chochuwong. The last couple of days, those flat lifts are dangerous from that side. They drift out the back, Steen, as you said earlier.
5.
But today feels a bit different.
It does at the moment. The only time Chochuwong beat Marin was on home soil.
Thank you.
Or at least it was in Spain, it was in Barcelona. And there was a lot of drift in the arena as well, and Marin started out on the good side. And everything looked as normal, calm and no danger. She wins the first game, but then Chochuwong changed the game around and stunned Marin in the next two games, where she played the better part of the
Carolina Marin
court.
challenges called out.
Well, challenge here, it looked quite a distance past the back line. And I don't blame Marin for taking this challenge, even if it's just to try to break this momentum that Chochuwong is building.
One
Yeah,
challenge
but
remaining.
she needs to adjust
9,
the
5,
tactic,
play.
Marin. And Chochuwong has done brilliantly on the far side of the court here. It's really helped her game. She's got very delicate technical skills, and
Service over.
yeah,
6,
it's just enough
9.
drift now to sort of help that technique.
Yeah, good shot, good return of serve.
Perfect play.
Yeah.
Service over.
The question
10,
is whether it has
6.
actually changed totally around, so that Marin is playing with the drift now. There has been some signs she's been the one making errors on the back line here in the second game.
Ten, 6.
Well, the lead from Chochuwong made us all think it was going to go long.
10.
And it was
That was a big point for Marin to win, actually, with the scoreline.
yeah, because here at the mid-game interval, they will have a chance to reevaluate what they've been discussing between the first and the second game, adjusting to the conditions. Points Marin scores here, the better the chances are
8,
for
10.
the left-hander of taking it in straight games.
Yes, that chance to talk with the coach at the mid-game. So vital. Especially when there's strong conditions in an arena, and there she comes to life again.
9,
Marin, she's
10.
doing well to come back in this second game. Chochuwong was looking in control for the most part. And 3 unanswered points for Marin. Gets her back in the action. Yeah, good shot from
Service
Chochuwong.
over. 11-9 interval.
Well, she's still in touching distance, Steen, 2 points at the mid-game interval. What would you be saying to Marin at this stage?
Estás bajando más el volante, estás jugando más atacante. Eso sí, y no sé que tus lobs no sean esos lobs altos que son difíciles de controlar, ¿vale? Que sea un poco más de esos lobs así.
Sí, ahí tengo que tener cuidado porque me está atacando.
Sí, sí. Tiene que
Quad 1, 20 seconds. Quad 1, 20 seconds. Goes back on court. Coach, attention check. Carolina, back on court.
Well, they were talking about the lops in the Spanish camp,
11-9.
and I think Alice Thompson wanted Marin to
Play.
play a little bit flatter, or maybe it could also have been the lops of Chochuwong, who's really playing flat lops, lifts. This one. So it's about getting the initiative from the go.
Good shot, Marin.
Service over. 10, 11.
Yeah, but I would say that it's important to have the initiative, important to attack it seems like the forehand corner of Chochuwong is a little bit to the weaker side, and he plays it back in the forehand of Marin. So
wonderful net exchange, and Chochuwong moving backwards, really expecting the lift.
and this is now it's 11-all, and it could have been an interval at 11-6 up for Chochuwong if it wasn't for that. Was it a misjudgment back then? I can't really remember. But it definitely brought a different complexion to this second game.
Yeah, something happened in the rear corner somewhere.
That's great control by Chochuwong. And well, I'm not sure if Marin plays up against the drift or has the drift in her back, but definitely Chochuwong does not play with the same drift in her back as was the case yesterday. That would have been impossible to control yesterday, that shot.
Great technique again. Marin given a lot of time to pick her shot here. Good skill. Change the direction at the last second. Yes, 2 or 3 now in the last handful of points, where Chochuwong's gone slightly long of the back line. She was inch perfect in the early stages of this game and caused Marin so many problems.
Clear.
Yeah, wonderful. She's so fast, Marin, still.
Constructed rally by Chochuwong.
Service over, 13-all. Quick one, let's went back. Quick one.
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
Okay, thank you, Blaise.
Not quite in the best defensive position, perhaps.
All.
So we're back on an even keel at 13-all.
Service over. 14-13.
Yeah, now stretched Chochuwong unable to get any real quality on the lift.
From that forehand, Marin.
Is the women's singles staying the most wide open event? You know, at most tournaments in sort of recent times. It feels to me like...
I'm not sure. I think I saw some statistics from Jill on Twitter that in fact it wasn't. And I think it has been for some time, but now I feel that the top guns here, they've sort of drifted away. That's a fantastic rally, this one.
Great shot from Marin and a great defense from Chochuwong.
This is completely, I mean, a rally like this yesterday, that would be incredible. But back to your question, I feel actually that there's 5 players that had a really good 2022. Yamaguchi, An Se-young, Tai Tzu-ying, Chen Yufei, and He Bingjiao.
Yeah. Well, with Marin hopefully back in the fold.
We've had injuries to all the Olympic medalists from 2016. Lucky net caught there for Chochuwong.
14-16.
We can also see in women's singles, China is regaining some of the force they had in 2010 to 12. A lot of players in the top ranks. As Marin edges closer to perhaps a straight game win here. I think at least Chochuwong needs to make something happen now.
Oh, it's gone wide.
18,
Well, she's hunting
14.
those rear corners with the flat shots. The return of serve as an example. And she can't afford to miss the court. It's an aggressive style, Steen, even in defence. Yeah, that's good. Good play
Service over.
from the tie.
15-18.
Well, 3 points in front now, Marin, and 3 from taking this second game.
That was 2 unusual mistakes from Marin, probably due to lack of familiarity with the playing conditions. Normally she puts one of those 2 shots away, either the smash opportunity or the kill at the net. Good defense by Chochuwong. Too high.
Yeah, it's gone long.
17-18.
She's definitely still in it. Chochuwong.
So tons of mental strength required here.
That's a great shot.
Service over.
Playing it back from where Chochuwong came from.
17.
Yeah, good slice.
And when we think back on the straight smashes that she's fired down the line, Marin, then it's almost impossible for Chochuwong to cover both that shot that Marin just played a winner on and smash straight down the line.
Yeah, she's baited her opponent there. Set up the opening to hit the variation. That's gone wide.
20, match point 17.
Three times world champion now with 3 match points. And on the first time of asking, Chochuwong's return of serve falls far off the back line. There's a challenge here.
Yeah.
I guess she has to challenge, Dean. I mean, the match is over.
I think it's close.
Yeah, Marin is known to celebrate a tricky call. Well, the margin of victory and defeat on this occasion comes down to around an inch, or at least to keep the match going, which she couldn't do. Chochuwong, big smile on the face of the Spaniard Carolina Marin, and she's battled her way through rounds 1 and 2 here.
21-14, 21-17.
At her best, Dean?
No.
No.
No, definitely not. But quite good and better than yesterday. And I mean, the conditions, coping with the conditions here, and especially the difference to yesterday, and that was well done. I also feel that Chochuwong is not far away. It's very, very little things that are missing. If she can play with a little bit extra margin, then there's a lot of winners instead of errors, and she will be dangerous again.
Yeah, we'll see Chochuwong again. Marin through in straight games, 14 and 17. Kuala Lumpur, the Malaysia Open 2023. What a shot of the skyline again. And some terrific action in here. 3 matches down, straight games in all of them. Carolina Marin battling her way through again. Lo Kian Yu in the men's singles, well, he's in fine form and looking so confident this week.